You're watching the news leader, WDAY.
Coming up tonight at 10 on the News Leader. It was a rainy start to the weekend for most of the region. Robert is tracking a much nicer day tomorrow for Mother's Day. And that rain didn't stop hundreds from hitting the lakes for Minnesota fishing opener. Our crews hitched a ride with a guide who's been blocking this day off for months. And
the Minnesota Senate passed new gun safety measures in a party line vote. We'll break down the 9-hour debate on one of politics' toughest issues.
good evening and thank you for joining us for WDAY News at 10. The rain is winding down after a cloudy and cooler Saturday today. Storm tracker meteorologist Robert Pointer has a look at the radar in our first look.
Yeah, of course, all that rain, but it did leave quite a bit of a mark. Sawyer, North Dakota, 4.62 inches of rain. Berthold, North Dakota, 2.78 inches. Genoa had 2.77. Going down the list, Steele, North Dakota had 2.3 inches of rain. Jamestown, 1.55 inches of rain. Elsewhere, Egley, North Dakota, 0.89 inches of rain. Wapaton, 0.59. Here in Fargo, 0.32. But as you go further up north along I-29, rain totals drop dramatically. Hillsborough, only 0.04. All of these are courtesy of NDON stations there recording all the rain. So looking at radar and satellite right now, here's that rain still beginning to wind down. Still some areas of showers though along I-94 and in Lakes Country. You'll still see some drops of water over there. Out near Jamestown and Bismarck, Minot, it's been raining continuously these past couple of days, or the last day or so. Of course, bringing all of that rain total. Temperatures right now much cooler over where it rained, 59 in Jamestown, 59 in Valley City, but a little up north, still warmer in the 60s. They got into the 70s earlier today, but the good news is we'll all warm up tomorrow and plenty of sunshine. We'll talk about the Mother's Day forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Robert. The Minnesota Senate DFL majority passed new gun safety measures late last night. Supporters say the new provisions are common sense and will make Minnesotans safer, while opponents say they target Second Amendment rights. WDAY News reporter Mike McGurran breaks down the multi-hour debate.
As the Minnesota State Senate enters the final weeks of its 2023 session, lawmakers tackle one of the toughest issues in U.S. politics. The gun provisions were part of the public safety spending package. The bill includes expanded background checks as well as red flag laws allowing judges to remove guns from people determined to be dangerous to themselves or others. Senator Rob Kupek voted for the bill after being undecided for months. He says expanding background checks was part of his campaign platform, and he thinks the restrictions in the bill strike the right balance.
These are definitely the least onerous of things we can do. That they could make a small incremental change. I think they are worth trying.
Over the course of 9 hours of sometimes heated debates on the bill, many Republican senators denounced it. Some argued that Minnesota already has plenty of laws restricting access to guns.
We have 43 laws in the state of Minnesota restricting or confiscating guns right now. 43 laws.
Senator Eichhorn said it targets law-abiding citizens, not criminals, and would pose great challenges to law enforcement.
Every single one of the law enforcement officers in my communities are very, very concerned about what they may have to deal with. And we've heard from county sheriffs throughout the state that even if you do this, they're not going to enforce it anyway.
After a long day of debate in an attempt to send the bill back to conference committee, it passed on party lines in the Senate, 34-33. From here, it will be voted on in the House, also controlled by Democrats, before heading to Governor Tim Walz's desk.
If we can accept that there are common sense ways for us to keep our kids and our community safe, then I think that's a responsibility all of us, whether you're a gun owner or not, can take and still enjoy the great things that come with gun ownership.
Mike McGurran, WDAY News.
Governor Tim Walz has previously said he would sign that bill. A 40-year-old Dickinson man died yesterday after a head-on collision with a pickup east of Williston. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says a Ford F-350 driven by 49-year-old David Seifert crossed lines going around a curve and hit a Toyota head-on just before 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The Toyota was driven by 40-year-old Robert DeHigwa. The Highway Patrol says he died at the scene. There was a passenger in the vehicle, 57-year-old Robert Nanan. He and the driver of the truck truck were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. North Dakota Highway Patrol says that crash is still under investigation. And authorities have released the name of the man who was injured after he hit a train near Grand Forks on Thursday. The man has been identified as 60-year-old David Contreras from Grand Forks. Contreras was heading east on 47th Avenue, south of the Flying J, when he hit the front side of the lead engine. That delayed the train for 2 hours. He was taken to the hospital for his injuries, and right now Contreras has been charged for failing to stop at a railroad crossing. That crash is also under investigation. And the family of Lachelle Jordan is breathing a sigh of relief after she turned up barefoot and in torn clothes, but alive nearly a week after she disappeared. The 30-year-old EMT from Cleveland walking into a convenience store where she used a clerk's phone to dial 911. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack with the details.
A miracle did happen.
Yes, sir.
Lachelle Jordan's father thanking law enforcement, the media, EMS, and everyone who helped bring his daughter home.
I had one small request, and that was to bring my daughter home safely. That request was granted.
Jordan, a Cleveland EMT, had been missing for nearly a week. Her family telling police she stepped outside to grab something from her car last Saturday evening and never returned. On Friday, the 30-year-old seen on this surveillance video limping into a convenience store, barefoot, her clothes tattered, using the clerk's phone to call 911.
You'll never believe this. We just got a call from Lachelle Jordan. She said she got away from the people that kidnapped her. They tried to burn her alive.
She was taken to the hospital for treatment.
Lachelle has had some trauma. She's had some injuries, and she's been hospitalized. And she's getting medical treatment.
The alleged kidnapping took place just days before Jordan was set to testify in a rape and kidnapping case involving 65-year-old Michael Stennett, who was reportedly a former co-worker. Stennett had been indicted on 2 counts of rape and 1 count of abduction. He has pleaded not guilty. Out on bond pending trial, Stennett was arrested Monday for violating a protective order filed by Jordan. However, police have not implicated Stennett in her disappearance and have not released any other information in her disappearance and recovery. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
A panel of outside consultants to the Food and Drug Administration voted to grant accelerated approval to an experimental gene therapy. SRP 9001 treats Duchenne muscular dystrophy in a single dose. The problem is it hasn't been clinically proven and the FDA has safety concerns. But parents of children who have received it got the votes they needed. Right now, kids with the disease generally lose the ability to walk by their teens and don't live past 30. The consultants ultimately voted 8-6 to put the drug on a path to go to market without robust clinical evidence. The FDA does not have to follow that recommendation, and the agency is expected to make a final decision by the end of the month. The Centers for Disease Control is updating its indoor ventilation recommendations. The changes are designed to prevent the transmission of COVID-19, but they can also help with other airborne pathogens. The agency is recommending 5 air changes per hour for rooms and buildings. Improved air quality can help with many airborne hazards like wildfire smoke and allergens, as well as the spread of other illnesses like the flu or strep. Still to come, the oldest high school newspaper in North Dakota is turning 100 years old. Up next on WDAY News, how Grand Forks Central is celebrating the centennial of the Centrillion.
Beautiful sunset out at Leeds, North Dakota. Thank you, Ashley, for sending in this photo. We're going to be looking at these clouds moving on out and a much drier and warmer day tomorrow, just in time for Mother's Day. We'll talk about that in the Storm Tracker forecast.
That's block. All right, Neil, if you got those times for me.
Tomorrow is more than just a fresh start. Tomorrow is a long time coming. It's continuing the work we started over 20 years ago by growing our investments in solar.
Okay. Okay.
Bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Thank you. 1 minute. And it looks like with updated times, if this is correct, we're 1 minute and 4 light.
I'm gonna babble.
You got it. Maybe not too much though. We can always leave some for sports.
Spots.
All right, that was a block. I think it looked fine on our end. You viewers at home might have different opinions. 30. Ten seconds. 5, stand by.
You're watching the news leader, WDAY.
The student newspaper at Grand Forks Central, the Centrillion, will celebrate its centennial this month. These are the students working for the newspaper right now. It's expected to be the oldest high school newspaper in the state, celebrating 100 years on the 23rd of this month. And if you're doing the math in your head, the first edition was published in 1923. And they still have some of the first copies in their archives, and they're still in good condition. The students plan on publishing an anniversary edition online on the 23rd and the print edition on the 30th. Construction on a new multi-use ballpark in Pingree, North Dakota, just north of Jamestown, is expected to start this year. Pingree Buchanan Youth Baseball has a goal to raise $100,000 for the project. So far, they have raised $40,000, and this is where the proposed location is for the ballpark just south of the high school. The plan is to have the field be able to convert from Little League to high school dimensions when needed, and the goal is to host games next spring. And residents in Moorhead can chalk down next Friday as a cleanup day in town. The city of Moorhead and Conservation Minnesota are partnering to host a litter pickup on the 19th. They say all the litter collected during the winter creates quite the eyesore, and this gives the town a fresh start for the season. Supplies will be provided, but they ask you to bring some gloves just to be safe, and they plan to meet at Romkey Park with cleanup from 4 to 6 p.m. next Friday. Robert is back with a look at the weather, and luckily tomorrow for Mother's Day, going to be a lot nicer than today. No rain in the forecast.
Absolutely. Let's not forget last week was also beautiful. Today was just kind of a little bit of a hiccup. We're going to get right back on track with the nice weather. But as I just mentioned, the weather the past couple of days, beautiful. Besides today, it was very warm outside. Temperatures were in the 70s and 80s this past week. Today did get into the 60s, of course. That's what will happen when we have that rain-cooled air. But a couple of days ago before that, the 7th, 55 degrees. It was an upward slope since then. 84 on the 11th, and we're going to go right back into the 70s though once we get into tomorrow. Today though, of course, still have the remaining rain showers. So if you are out and about, of course, still see a sprinkle or two. Out in Lakes Country, fishermen could see an occasional shower or two remaining, but we're seeing this wind down quite a bit over the area. A little bit of rain activity out near Jamestown and Bismarck, but off near Minot, where it's been raining pretty consistently the past day or two. We're finally starting to see that lighten up. But today, they still got up to nearly 6/10 of an inch of rain, just over 1/10 of an inch of rain in Bismarck. Elsewhere in Fargo, 1/10 of an inch of rain. These were at the airports. High temperatures today, you can really tell where it rained and where it did not. 60s along I-94, 67 for the high in Fargo, 63 Valley City, 64 in Jamestown.
Let's see if you viewers at home can figure out how I messed up.
60s yesterday. We're also at 57 degrees, but where it wasn't rainy and there was actually a little bit more sunshine, 78 in Grand Forks, 77 in Crookston, 77 in Thief River Falls. So rain can really make a difference on that temperature. Of course, now everyone's kind of evened out a little bit more as we get into the nighttime. 66 in Crookston, 67 in Grand Forks, 63 in Fargo, so much closer together now. Right now in Grand Forks, pretty quiet scene. East wind around 7 miles an hour. Here in Fargo, 63 degrees, east wind at around 8 miles an hour. And finally, out in Lakes Country, still fishermen out, 59 degrees, northeast wind at around 7 miles an hour. So getting a little bit on the brisk side. Next couple of hours, the last of that rain will finally move on out, and we'll see those clouds clearing from north to south, and then sunshine makes a return. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, light wind, and a really nice day to be outside to enjoy Mother's Day, and that continues into the beginning of the week. So rain trend the next couple of days, a little bit of a dry streak coming up, starting tomorrow with Mother's Day. Chance of some showers and thunder showers on Wednesday, then right back to more dry on Thursday. But overall, this week is looking really, really nice so far. Wind speeds over the next couple of hours. Slight breeze does kick up tomorrow, but gusts will only get up to around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Very, very manageable. Wind's not going to be an issue at all for being outside. Tonight, temperatures dropping down into the 40s and around 50 degrees for some of the warmer spots at Crookston. Otherwise, 49 in Fargo, 49 Valley City, 49 Jamestown, 48 in Bismarck, up north 45 in Minot. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, going to be beautiful outside. Temperatures have returned back into the 70s. 74 for Fargo, 76 for Grand Forks, 75 for Crookston, 75 for Devil's Lake. So a little bit of a cool day today, but we're going to go right back on track tomorrow. And we'll talk more about those warm temperatures coming up in the 10-day forecast.
Okay, a Mother's Nature's gift to all the mothers.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Robert. Coming up next on WDAY News, a new feature on Twitter is getting some backlash. How former CEO Elon Musk is responding. And later, a look at the first ever Midwest Truck Fest in West Fargo.
Now we're only 27 late.
Good job, Bob. This job is so weird.
Huh?
This job is so weird. What's even weirder is coming in or leaving on Sundays. I should probably go.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry. Leaving on Sundays super late because I'm always doing stuff later, and first news people are coming in.
Yeah.
It's like a good night/morning, I guess.
Yeah. When I have to do Saturday first news sometimes, it's like, okay, I can come in at a certain time, or I'll just come in at midnight and get no sleep, and then go home and sleep after the newscast.
Which one do you normally go to?
The last time I came in at midnight, because it was we went to that Force game. We did DIY thing at the Force game, so it was like, the game's done at like 10:30. I'll just stay up for an hour and a half because I'm gonna get no sleep. 1 minute. And then it was just like trying to figure out stuff to do.
Unfortunately, basement water, it always gets worse. Don't worry.
You have cats?
3.
That's awesome.
You like cats?
I love cats.
Yay!
Yeah.
That is not a common answer from people.
I love cats.
That makes me so happy. I'll show you them after the show.
Awesome. Not here. 30.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and the experience
10 seconds.
you can count on. First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
5. Stand by.
Storm Tracker weather on the JamestownSun.com.
Twitter has unveiled a new feature that encrypts some direct messages between users. But privacy and security experts widely panned it, saying it appears to be riddled with caveats, flaws, and risks that may endanger the users. In the first iteration of the feature, only paying subscribers to Twitter Blue or whose organizers have paid to be verified may use those encrypted messages. Twitter also said even with the encryption feature enabled, the company itself and other third parties can still potentially access user messages. And in apparent response to a wave of criticism, former Twitter CEO at the time of the launch, Elon Musk, tweeted early on Thursday, quote, "Try it, but don't trust it yet." And streaming giant Netflix is reportedly looking to cut its spending by $300 million this year. The Wall Street Journal says Netflix is trying to improve its profitability in an increasingly competitive market. Unlike most of its rivals that are still losing money on streaming, Netflix has been turning a profit for several years, although it reported its first ever loss of subscribers last year. Netflix stock is up 17% in 2023. The Wall Street Journal says a Netflix spokesperson had no comment on this news. Over to our 10-day forecast, and we will start off this next week on the dry side, Robert.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful start to the week. Plenty of sunshine and warmer temperatures from the 60s. Tomorrow, it's going to be beautiful outside to enjoy the outdoors for Mother's Day. 74 degrees, plenty of sunshine, light winds. Can't ask for much better. For Monday and Tuesday, we're in the 80s, so it actually does even get a little better. Mostly sunny skies. Overall, pretty nice start to the week. For Wednesday, we're tracking chances of thunder showers later on to the afternoon and evening. Still 80 degrees, but we'll see colder air follow that. And by Thursday, still some remaining showers, 64 degrees, 66 for Friday, but just in time for the following weekend, back into the 70s. 77 for Sunday, plenty of sunshine, and then a rather quiet start to the following week. Partly cloudy skies, 74 for Monday, 73 for Tuesday. Grand Forks tomorrow, similar boat. Everyone in the region is going to be looking at sunshine, light winds, and just pretty pleasant temperatures. 76 degrees, back into the 80s Monday and Tuesday. Mostly sunny skies for both of them. A good start to the week. Wednesday, tracking chances of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Still 80 degrees. Then we take a drop, 61 degrees. Chances of showers sprinkling in throughout the region. For Friday, still holding on to rather cool temperatures. In fact, chance of waking up into the 30s in the morning, but we warm up to the 60s and then rebound in the weekend. 75 for Saturday and Sunday. Looking at Monday and Tuesday, though, also pretty excellent. 73 for Monday, 71 for Tuesday, partly cloudy skies.
All right, thank you, Robert. Coming up next on WDAY Sports, the Fargo Force look to snag one win at home in the Clark Cup Finals, even if it takes extra minutes. That's coming up next.
See ya. See ya.
Here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and do all the things that make summer, like getting ice cream.
Of course not.
I'll keep it down. Hiking with the besties. Catching sunsets. Or just plain catch. Go long.
Get 3.99% APR for up to 48 months on 5 of your favorite Toyota models.
So that was Rachel. She is our sports anchor tonight. Right when she walked out, Sam was like, nice of you to show up.
Toyota, let's go places.
They both graduated from St. Cloud State, so they both know each other from there. 90.
Specializing in glass replacement for newer model cars, classic cars, semi-trucks, farm equipment, and flat glass. The best part? They'll come to you. Big Dog Auto Glass offers mobile service for no extra charge in the FM Metro. They also offer a flexible schedule and will work with any and all insurance companies. Big Dog Auto Glass is a locally owned family company.
Yes, yeah, she's sports, so
service,
yeah.
efficiency, and professionalism. Big Dog Auto Glass. BigDogAutoGlass.com.
Rocking Horse Farm, a handcrafted farm.
1 minute.
With larger lots available for your growing family, offering complimentary design guidance from local architects to reflect your personal style and create a home exterior.
Rachel, mic check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Thank you.
Parks and recreational trails and spectacular views of Osgood Golf Course. Fit in by standing out. RockingHorseFarm.com.
Only 2 blocks left.
Shooting Star Casino is turning 31.
30.
Time for some fun. We want to celebrate by giving away a shiny new pickup just in time for summer campouts and fishing trips. Join us for our anniversary wheels and deals on Memorial Day, May 29th. Win up to $5,000 cash.
Yes,
for a
it's
new
Rachel.
four-wheel
Yep.
drive truck. Start earning entries now. Plus bonus entries
10 seconds.
Saturdays in May. Check out all the anniversary fun at Star Casino.
5, stand by.
Wake up to first news on WDAY.
Big crowds showed up at the first ever Midwest Truck Fest in West Fargo today. Over 100 lowered, lifted, performance, and off-road trucks filled Veterans Memorial Arena. Prizes came at the end of the show, including a People's Choice Award voted on by show attendees and many others determined by a team of 7 judges. There was some serious eye candy at the show as well, like this one with a full air ride suspension, 30-inch wheels, and a 42-inch tire. Even with the show being at the Metro for the first time, people from all over came to show off their trucks today.
Quite a few trucks from all over the United States, Canada. We had guys come from Colorado, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. A lot of these trucks are super high-level trucks that go to shows pretty much only go to shows.
He also says the turnout was great, and he hopes that Midwest Truck Fest will return for many years to come. We do too. The Fargo Force have been dominant this postseason, but for the first time, they have to play catch-up. Rachel?
Yeah, so far in the playoffs this season, the Force have won the first game of the series, but until last night. So you're right, Sam. They've got some catching up to do. And Fargo's looking to split the weekend at home with Youngstown tonight. Less than 3 minutes into the second, Miles Gunty from the slot finds the back of the net for his second of the weekend. 1-0 Phantoms. Midway through the period, though, Brett Link splits the defense, and that backhand coming in handy. We're tied at 1. This one heads into OT, and Andon Serbone is left all alone, and he capitalizes. The Phantoms win both on the road, 2-1.
Overall, more happy with how our group responded and played tonight than we did in game 1, and it was a good hockey game.
Now it's Fargo's turn to hit the road, and they will look to force a Game 4 with the Phantoms, but Game 3 is set for Friday at 6. It's the final day of the Summit League Track and Field Championships, and we saw plenty of green and gold on top of the podium. Starting with the 800-meter, and here comes Jacob Brodeen with plenty of time and space. He takes the crown, breaking the school, meet, and facility records. Now on to the men's 4x4 relay, and Brodeen, he's bringing it across the finish line again for the Bison, and we go into the women. NDSU dominates the 100-meter hurdles. Leading the way is Teresa Bolabrook, proving to herself that all of her hard work has paid off.
It's what I've been working for this whole year, and it finally paid off. You know, just got to keep training and doing what you need to do to be able to achieve something like this.
Both NDSU squads take home the Summit League Outdoor Team Championships, 27 combined titles in the past 15 years. This rain delay at Target Field had nothing on the Twins' offense today. Rain or shine, fans still showed up for the redemption game against the Cubs. And Minnesota did not disappoint. Already up 5-0, Jorge Polanco sends a deep drive to right field, the 4th home run of the game. The Twins even the series with a whopping 11-1 win. Their game got canceled yesterday, so now we have a Red Hawks versus Kane County doubleheader. Top of the 7th tied at 1, and all it took was this. A two-base wild pitch. Sam Dexter rounds 3rd to score to give Fargo Moorhead their first lead of the game. And the Red Hawks would sneak away with Game 1, but Kane County battled back in Game 2, winning 6-1. NDSU's baseball doubleheader today against Omaha was postponed due to the weather, so they will pick it back up tomorrow starting at noon. Today is the fishing opener in Minnesota, a day that anglers and guides hit the lakes looking for that next big catch. But for one guide, this day is blocked off of his calendar. WDAY Sherwin Shelton has more.
There we go, first one of the day here.
Brady Baxter owns Backstar Fishing, a pontoon rental and fishing guide service. With the fishing season officially open, he's a busy man.
You know, our schedule's really full. The pontoon is rented out quite a bit already right now. As for fishing, I'm getting more calls every day now as the weather gets nicer.
Brady is up bright and early to take on the lake on the fishing opener. But today, he's not a guide. He's just a fisherman.
Brady is nice enough to set some time aside in his calendar most years if he doesn't forget to block it off. So then he gets to fish with his friends, which I really appreciate.
It's a special day for all fishermen, for me. You know, I used to go quite a bit with my late grandfather, and that was a special time that we had. But now, past few years, I've been able to go with Jason.
These two have been friends for as long as they can remember.
It was back in elementary school. He's got the date down. He remembers that. I don't have quite that memory.
It was the day before first grade in 1989.
Beautiful fish. Let's put her back.
Brady and Jason typically fish on the opener from sunup to sundown, and they intend to keep doing so for a long time.
We're going to make this a lifelong thing. So it's awesome, and it's worth taking that one day off because I'm busy the rest of the summer. So
for WDAY Sports, I'm Sherwin Shelton.
Brady and Jason caught bass, crappies, and walleye out on Lake Sally today, and I haven't been fishing in, I think, 8 years, but after that, I think I might have to head on out there.
Yeah, you might want to go tomorrow. Nicer day. And exactly. Sherwin, by the way, said he didn't catch anything,
Bummer.
which
we
does
can
not.
Go out together.
All right, that works. Thank you, Rachel. Still to come on WDAY, Robert has your Mother's Day forecast and why moms can get out on the lake for free and fish this weekend and maybe even win some prizes in the process.
What, did something happen? I saw you raise your arms.
I read it wrong.
Oh, okay.
You're good. Usually it's nothing on you, it's always on me.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I appreciate it. Okay, minute 24. Minute 18, is that right? I think so. So 2 would be 3:12. Yeah. All right, so we'll have about a minute 18 to finish the show.
Sounds good.
We're almost done. Almost done. $90. This headset, when I lift it up and down, it squeaks right in the earpiece. I need to change it. Probably the only one that it bugs, though, is me, I should say. Can you slide to the left? Sorry, it was my left, your right. Perfect, thank you. 1 minute. I've been meaning to get out there and put marks on the stage, because with Dana, he's all over the place when he's on that stage in his chair.
Yeah, I think that would help out a little bit.
Check that. That's pretty good.
30. Keyboard anymore, so I can bring this little thing back, because that's going to be how I play music at the end of the show. Normally it plays it automatically, but since we're going live, all this other stuff. So.
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best.
10 seconds.
That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional.
5 to Lotto.
Follow us on Twitter, WDAY News.
Coming out in 3, 2, 1.
If you are a mom who lives in Minnesota, you can fish for free this weekend. It is Take a Mom Fishing Weekend. Plus, you have a chance to win prizes and a virtual challenge while you're on the water. All you need to do is join the Minnesota Moms Fishing Challenge on Facebook and submit a picture of each fish you catch. And everyone who participates will be entered into a drawing for prizes that include Shields gift cards. Tomorrow's going to be a great day for fishing.
Absolutely. A perfect weekend, or perfect end to the weekend, I should say, after all the rain. Sunshine returns tomorrow. It's going to be great outside. The last of the rain is moving on out. Still a sprinkler too this evening, but wind speeds tomorrow maybe
30.
a gust up to around 10 to 15 miles an hour at the very most. But tonight temperatures down into the upper 40s, maybe 50 degrees, 50 for Crookston, 49 for Fargo and Valley City.
20.
But looking at tomorrow, should be a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine, starting off around 50 in the morning, 15. Close to noon around 70 degrees, and then mid 70s by the afternoon.
Thank you for joining us for WDAY News at 10. First News is back tomorrow at 7 a.m.
I messed up at the end. So you watching at home are going to hear really weird audio. Dang it. Really good show throughout that otherwise. Oh well.